Hello everyone and welcome to our next Innovation Spotlight event. My name is Lars.
And I'm Alex. We're welcoming you today from one of our customers' production plant. It's a company model here in Switzerland. We are here today to present you Zünd's new cutter and board handling generation, the Q-Line and BHS180. The Q-Line with BHS180 complements our current product offering and is setting new standards in performance, machine availability and quality. In other words, produce more in less time, with less waste and with minimum manual labor involved.
It is our response to increasing customer demand for a highly automated, complete solution for industrial pallet-to-pallet production in shift operation. With this product bundle, we are targeting packaging, sign and display manufacturers where minimum manpower and maximum output is required.
We are proud to introduce you to this groundbreaking technology and can't wait to show you how the Q-Line can take your business to the next level. Let me introduce you our today's host, the company Model. Model Holding is an internationally active Swiss manufacturer of corrugated and solid board packaging solution. The group of companies has 15 production sites in Europe. Here in Weinfelden, Switzerland, is Model's headquarters and very first plant. They have been producing packaging here since 1931. Over 160 million square meters of corrugated board are processed every year. 480 employees work on a production area of 52,000 square meters. Simple transport packaging through to high quality, elegant displays are produced here, thanks to one of the most productive corrugated cardboard machine in the world and fully automated high bay warehouse with 10,000 pallet spaces and the latest and greatest generation of processing machines. And one of those we want to present you now.
Packaging, sign and display producers needs to efficiently handle different job types involving different materials with different run lengths in a short amount of time. One order can, for example, be 50 sheets of E-flute, the next can be 20 sheets of EB flutes, etc. Some jobs are several hundreds of sheets and some may even be thousands of sheets. For the longest run lengths, there's often no technology that can compete with the cost of traditional steel rule die cutting. Most companies have years of experience with these types of jobs and they know how to accurately calculate their cost of cutting and thereby the achievable margin for a given job. But for the shorter run lengths, the margins are shrinking and the cost of cutting is becoming more and more critical. The new Q-Line cutting system we are about to present you is designed to reduce the cost of cutting such mix of different job types and different run lengths. It further allows you to better predict the actual cost of cutting for such jobs. For traditional die cutting, tooling is a major cost factor, but for digital cutting, the cost of the tooling is insignificant and other factors are more relevant. Besides the initial investment, the cost of digital cutting is mainly defined by three factors: the amount and cost of labor required to run the cutting machine, the machine's performance, how fast it moves and how many jobs or sheets the machine can cut in 1 hour. And then the machine's availability, meaning how much time in a day is the machine actually cutting. Let's take a closer look at some of the circumstances that can influence the machine availability. Jobs may arrive to the cutter on its own pallet or as multiple jobs stacked on the same pallet. These stacks may not always look as nice as they do here at Model. Sometimes the individual sheets are slightly shifted, and sometimes the stack may be slightly tilted or leaning towards one side. And sometimes the individual sheets can even be warped or curved, leading to inaccuracies in the registration. These are typical situations that may cause the machine to stop. When it happens during the day, it may only take the operator some minutes to correct the situation. But when it happens during night or at times where there is no operator around the machine may end up being stopped for several hours. Such kind of machine stoppage cause low machine availability and increase the actual cost of cutting. Proper knife management is equally critical for high machine availability. Different knives and tools are required for the different jobs and materials in one stack. All the stacks that needs to be cut in one shift. Another challenge is the wear of the knife blade. Will the blade remain sharp for the entire stack or the entire shift? Any manual changing of tool or knife will cause machine stoppage and leads to lower machine availability. When neglecting to replace a knife blade in due time, the result is wasted time and material. So, managing a vast variety of jobs, materials and tools and blades with a minimum of machine stoppage and very little human intervention is a major challenge. This is exactly what the Q-Line with the BHS180 and undercam was designed for.
This is our new flagship, the Q-Line with BHS180. Almost 40 years experience in digital cutting, combined with the most modern technology of today and customer requirements of tomorrow, have brought this system as a result. The system consists of three main components: the cutter, the loading unit, and the unloading unit. Each of these work areas is autonomous and perfectly synchronized to ensure the highest efficiency. There are also separate safety zones that allow refill and empty the stacks without stopping the system. The result is seamless workflow with highest productivity. The cutter forms the heart of the system and is equipped with a state-of-the-art technology that enables acceleration of 2.1 G and a speed of 2.8 meters per second. The result is incredible performance that leads to shorter production times, lower cost per unit and faster delivery times. This here is a Q3232D, a dual beam cutter. Dual beam, double productivity. In addition to this size, we have two other sizes available. This here is the biggest. As you are used to with Zünd, there are 3 tools per beam. This allows you to crease, cut and perforate sequentially. Speaking of creasing, now we crease with up to 50 kilograms pressure. Here there is a fully automated loading unit for stacks up to 1.8 meter and an integrated undercam which assures always perfect print registration when print is face down. And here the fully automated inclinable unloading unit allows bridge-free cut boards to be stacked precisely, even with thin materials, making it easier to separate waste. Let's take a closer look at how everything works in production, starting at the loading unit. There, where the whole processing starts, and flexibility is key to increase the machine availability. Here we are in front of a stack of corrugated material. Obviously, there is 1, 2, 3 jobs to produce. They're all printed and with the print side down. Thanks to these papers, I know where one job ends and the other one starts. But these papers will not stay and will not be run through the system. So how do we trace the jobs in the stack on the other side after processing? Let me answer this to a later stage. Earlier, Lars mentioned shifted boards, which affects the process stability. To overcome this, we capture every board edge with sensors which are mounted on the loading unit before picking to load them aligned onto the table. All this is done simultaneously to reduce the loading time. In case of tilted stacks, it can happen that edges of the board are outside the detection range of the sensors. In such cases, The feeder grips the board, lifts it slightly and moves it a few centimeters with the aim of bringing the board into the detection area. This process will repeat until the sheet edge is in the detection area and the sheet can be loaded. Another challenge we have to deal with is the sheet separation. Depending on the nature of the material, wet or dry, printed or laminated, or even static charging, it can be difficult to separate the sheets from each other. Controlled separation with configurable suction cups provides us with remedy. Depending on the material and material properties, different control modes let the suction cup retract or extend to ensure board separation. The BHS180 comes with the undercam. It detects register marks and thus ensure a precise cutting result. It is a camera located under the table extension, looking from the bottom up. In case of warped or curved material, the board is pressed onto the undercam to avoid inaccuracy in registration. The undercam also recognizes different jobs through QR code recognition, enabling automated production of multiple jobs in the same stack. If a register mark or QR code is not recognized because of misprinting or damage to the board, the system does not stop. The unrecognized board is run through the system unprocessed. Just to remind you, that's all about the loading process. Let's move to the cutter. Beside of more acceleration and speed, one of the key figures with the Q-Line is a tool magazine for up to 7 tools per beam. It allows the cutter to automatically always pick the best tool for a given job. In cases like this, where we have different material types to process. And when a knife is becoming dull, the cutter can automatically pick another tool with a new sharp knife and continue with the production without stopping the system or human intervention. Enough about the cutter, let's take a look at the unloading unit. See here, this is the answer how we trace the different jobs after cutting. After the undercam detects another job by QR code, the stacking position is changed so that the different jobs are unloaded at different positions, and we get this result. The inclinable stacker reduces the drop height during unloading, resulting in a clean stack. A clean stack helps to remove the waste easier and faster after cutting. Just as we have considered the upstream process steps and circumstances around the loading, here we are considering the downstream process steps after unloading and want to support them as much as possible in order to make them more efficient. Overall, we found solutions to overcome the challenges which Lars was mentioning earlier. And what is your impression? Are you convinced that this system can bring your business to the next level? We are.
I earlier mentioned that the labor required to run the machine is one of the main cost factors. So let's look at the user experience for the Q-Line. These green and red switches are used to start, pause and stop the cutter, and when stopped, the safety barriers are automatically lowered, so the cutting area and the tools are easy accessible. The switches are placed in each corner of the cutter as well as here at the workstation. This way, the operator doesn't have to return to the workstation every time just to push a button. The well-known Zünd Q-Line software was completely reworked and now has a touchscreen user interface. This new version 4.0 is now easier to learn and simpler to operate, and it will be available for all our cutters in September. The new Q-Line comes with this ergonomic workstation that can be adjusted up and down. It can be turned and tilted for the easiest touchscreen operation. By pressing the play button in the job list, the operator can choose to start a particular job and he can also choose to let the cutter scan the QR code from the printed sheet, and it will work its way through the entire stack. This scanner is used to prepare the tools needed for a certain production run, for a shift, a day, or a week, depending on the actual job mix. Let me show you how that is done. In this screen, the operator will see which tools and knife blades are needed for the selected jobs. So when I, for example, want to use this tool together with this knife, I simply first scan the tool and then scan the knife. The system will now keep track of how many meters of cutting I do in which materials with this exact knife blade. Thereby, the system can also warn me if the blade is expected to become dull in the middle of the production. I can also define backup tools, so the cutter automatically picks another tool when the knife has reached its end of life. Once the tool is ready, I simply place it in the magazine. Just as easily, I can take a used tool out, and once I close the magazine, the cutter scans the code from all the tools in the magazine. In a multi-cutter environment, the scanner can be installed centrally, and this way one person can manage all tools needed for all cutters centrally. Operation has never been simpler.
Zünd stands for quality and longevity. Let me prove you that on the Q-Line. The core of the cutter is the engine. It is a linear drive giving the incredible performance figures, and it's maintenance free. The base is made of mineral cast to provide the necessary stability and precision at the extreme speed and forces. And the carbon fiber reinforced beam absorbs emerging forces, reduce the total weight, which affects on speed. In summary, the new Zünd Q-Line with BHS180 and undercam is designed for the highest performance and availability.
Thank you for joining this short introduction. We hope that you now have a better understanding of the many benefits and the innovations that the Q-Line has to offer.
We would also like to express our thanks to Model for kindly providing us with their facility to shoot this video.
Please leave us a short note if you'd like to receive more information or schedule a personal demonstrations.
That's all for now. Greetings from Switzerland. All the best. Bye bye.
Bye bye.